Okay, I'm gonna do a vlog. I don't usually do vlogs, and my normal caveat and pre-discussion of basically anything I post online is I don't really expect anybody to like watch this, just like I don't expect anybody to read my blog, and people do tend to read my blog. I do have nice little readership, which is awesome because then they comment on my blog, and because usually I write about stuff that I suck at in my blog. My blog is not as self-congratulatory as it probably could be. In fact, it's probably very indulgent in terms of my like just complete proclivity towards ripping on myself. And so people will be like, Janice, you know, you need to look at things a different way, and I will try to do that. And so sharing stuff on my blog is, you know, helpful for me and hopefully others. So I'm going to do a vlog, and hopefully it will function in the same way. And I think what I kind of want to discuss a little bit is some of the sentiment that I've been discussing in my blog. I've definitely not been cheery. I think I've definitely expressed a lot of discomfort with this kind of bulking that I'm doing. And so you can hear that waver in my voice when I say that word, which really, I think, evinces like how much I am kind of divided on it still. And so I guess, you know, that's a project in my blog then. I kind of sit there and write about, well, here are the pros and cons, and here's how I'm feeling comfortable with this, and here's how overwhelmingly I'm not feeling comfortable with it. And that doesn't mean, though, that I'm not going to do it, because I think at the end of the day, I do believe, or I have an ideal, that that really this will be helpful in the long run. And I think it's really when you're doing something and it really is about the long run. And when I say long run, I'm talking like, you know, 4 or 5 years from now. Like, I think when people act in a way towards a goal that is really going to maybe be reached in 4 or 5 years, it's not easy. I commend anybody for trying, you know, which basically if you're in the sport of powerlifting, you're doing that. And if you haven't realized it yet, you will at some point, because you're going to get injured, and then it's going to set you back like 6 months. And then you realize, well, yeah, God, to get good at this, I guess I have to just spend a ton of time in it. And that's how I kind of understand my participation in the sport, I think, at this point, that it's gonna take a ton of time. There is my phone. I'm not going to answer that right now. But, so, you know, so putting on, kind of trying to build my body right now, is probably going to be in service of stuff that happens like 4 years from now, 5 years. I don't know why I'm saying 4 or 5 is a much nicer, rounder number. Honestly, I believe it could benefit me within like 2 years. You know, I think obviously 1 year, like there's spans of time here, but I think as laying a foundation that I can build off of, like, you know, 4 years from now, it's going to be crucial. So that said, oh man, phone, need to shush. That said, you know, I'm 27, and I have this kind of pervasive sense that I am, this is vanity coming in, okay? I have a pervasive sense and awareness of like my shelf life, and I admit that I kind of feel like I'm choosing to spend what little time is left on my shelf life, because I'm almost 30, fat. Yay! Like, you know, I'm gonna kind of not do what all that I could be to kind of be trying to maximize, ooh, I'm young and pretty and stuff. I'm gonna like put myself in the position of being aesthetically like kind of shitty overall, and in service of something for when I'm older. And then I'm gonna have missed out on this time period where I'm, you know, gonna be able to look back someday and be like, oh, how young and beautiful you were. That is kind of my logic around this. I have to admit it, and that's like sick. I know that's kind of sick, but I think, you know, when you kind of maybe crawl past the age of 23 or 24, you start to realize, okay, you know, they're doing casting calls for modeling stuff, and they don't want people who are like my age. It's like 18 to 22, and that's it. And so then you're like, oh man, I gotta dial this in. I gotta be like kind of taking advantage of like the few years I have before my skin starts to like droop down to, you know, my waistline and like all kinds of crazy shit. Um, and so, you know, I feel like, oh, okay, if I choose to be like just pudgy, I'm kind of not acting in service of that fantastic, horrible kind of standard that I just ascribe to in my, you know, discussion of why I'm feeling so conflicted about this. I admit it, it's a really horrible standard. It's a really horrible conviction to have regarding, you know, what I need to do. Like, the priorities there are so screwed up, you know, but really my priorities are mostly lifting, always. So I'm gonna do things, but there's this other side of me that's like, God, I am 27. I can't do this thing that's gonna make me look even uglier than I'm already getting, because that's what society tells me. And it's not gonna, it's actually gonna get worse. I'm gonna get bigger in the next few months. Like, this is not it. Like, I am, you know, I really need to be on board with this. So, like, there you go. I guess I'm going to keep doing it. A lot of people have women, let's say like women, let's like limit this to a little bit more of like the female side of things, because I feel like the male experience of bulking, especially in this sport, in powerlifting, is different. Okay, you can challenge me on that if you want to. But in terms of how it functions socially, how it's looked at large, how people respond to it, I would say there's differences. And so, you know, I know women have done it and, you know, really benefited from it, I would say. So I need to just suck it the hell up and go with it. But it's kind of catching me right now. It's catching me. I don't know. So there you go. I will say before I stop with this video, I'm gonna end it pretty soon, that one thing that I actually honestly don't talk about that much when I do talk about this stuff is that my lifts are like going amazingly right now, okay? Like, in fact, I kind of gloss over it. I'm like, oh yeah, my training's good. Yeah, it's really good, okay? And like, I've done enough training to, you know, the point where sometimes it's like, okay, and you had a little PR here and there. I have PR, like rep PRs every week. I have just handling of weights is massively better than like 2 months ago. It's weird. Frankly, you know, the kind of progress I feel and see is the kind that sometimes people like to jump on you and be like, oh, you're using something. I mean, not really, but like, it kind of feels like that. I've just kind of, you know, bumped up how much I eat, and that's really kind of, it's done it, and it's freaking amazing. I am so happy about it. So I don't really talk about that a lot because I kind of don't like to brag. I don't like to be like, oh, yay for me, I did this thing, yay. And mostly my squatting still sucks and my bench is like the biggest tragedy in the world. But like, it's happening, you know? So I need to kind of focus on that, obviously, but I still have to deal with the stuff I'm talking about where I kind of feel like I'm sacrificing the part of myself that's attached to aesthetic identity and ideals. So we'll see how that kind of progresses in the future. It's definitely not something that's resolved right now. I'm going to shut up. So thank you for watching if you got all the way through this, and if you want to comment, awesome, because it helps me out. You know, talking with people I think has been one of the most helpful ways I've been able to kind of navigate this whole experience so far. So have a good one.